Okay, let's chat. I've had a pretty defeating day and few days because I was super excited to plant my fall garden and just have a wonderful fall season. And I was filming like such a fun video from starting the garden, and then I was going to show how it's going, and I was just really excited about it. And I'm gonna play that portion of the video here so you guys can see how cute it was gonna be and fun it was gonna be. And then I want to show you what happened to my garden literally overnight when I woke up to. And if you saw my short, then you know. But watch this and let me show you what happened to my garden literally overnight. And then what I'm going to do about it, right? So I'm going to pick myself up. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do something about it. But it's just super, super defeating. So here's the clip of what was going to be a beautiful video. And then I'll take you out there and show you what I'm talking about, what happened. Super bummer. I met one of my neighbors, and they always do a ton of starter plants every spring and fall for our garden, and my husband and I have been coming and getting our plants here since we moved out to the property, so about 5 seasons now. They always do great starter plants for our area, and so we love picking them out. But today I'm going to grab some arugula. We're definitely going to do a lot of kale. They have so many different varieties. So I'm going to get this dwarf kale, and we're going to get a few of those. I'm going to make a pile here. Get another arugula. You can start arugula from seed as well, but I'll get a few starter plants and I'll also do some seed. Okay, I'm gonna get some Swiss chard. Swiss chard grows super, super well. So this is, if you want a big harvest, this is a great thing to add to your fall garden. I'm gonna get a few different varieties here. The rainbow one is just beautiful. So we're gonna add that to our pile. And then over here, let's see, he's got some collard greens, he's got some cabbage. He definitely said I was going to do some cabbages. We'll get quite a few of these. The great thing about starting with some little starter plants rather than seed is that you're getting ahead of your season. So these were started inside in a greenhouse, and then as they're able to plant, we're able to capitalize on the sunlight of the fall while we still have a large amount of sunlight, but also get a good, decent harvest before some of our first frost. So that's really helpful. Here's another kind of cabbage. Got a ton of different cabbages here, different varieties. And I try different varieties, and one of the tips that they gave me when I first started coming here is to keep all the tags and kind of make note of what varieties I loved and then what variety I might want to try different in the future. Okay, that's good.
guys, I literally don't know what to do. I planted these garden beds full of starter plants yesterday, and this one is completely demolished. And I had a rat issue at the end of the summer garden, and so I set some rat traps, and I did get one. So yeah, I woke up and every single plant that I had planted was completely eaten off at the stem. If not, the root was fully pulled up. And I had a feeling that there could still be some mice around. We have had a super bad mice problem this year. Literally never ever seen this before. But like my neighbors texted me like, what do we do about all the mice? And we think, long story short, but we also hear a lot less coyotes at night, and so we think there's a farmer or rancher or something eradicating the coyotes around here on their property, which is totally in their right to do. But because of that, we've seen a ton more bunnies, which I don't mind, but also a ton more mice. Like, we just have a huge population of them this year, and we haven't in the past. So all that to say, I thought that there could be an issue, and so I sprinkled cayenne pepper all over the plants when I first planted them, and it didn't seem to matter. The mice just went crazy. And then I also set a trap, and I got one. So I planted a few more plants here, and I didn't replant the whole bed. I'm not ready to do that yet and face losing everything again. But I planted a few more small ones, and I'm going to do some experimental testing on what will keep them away. So my neighbor, who we get the plants from, suggested that I do like water and boil down like a really hot pepper and maybe some garlic and spray that all over the plants. So I'm going to try that, and I'm going to try a few more traps. Other people have said mothballs or something smelly like a rotten egg. So I'm going to do a few experiments over the next few days or weeks or whatever before I replant this, and see what experiments work, or if anything works or helps, or if these get destroyed as well. They're not touching my oregano, funny enough. So oregano is a rat-safe plant, I guess. And see if any of that helps or works before I replant everything. But super discouraging. And I don't pretend to ever be the best gardener. Like, no, I'm not. But I also felt like when we lived in the city, I could grow a substantial amount of stuff. Like, I didn't suck at gardening. I could grow a substantial amount of stuff, but I didn't have near as many pests. Obviously, I didn't have the rodents at our house in town. I didn't have deer. You know, I felt like there was a lot less variables as there is out here in the middle of nowhere, which is kind of a bummer because I was really excited to move out here, and I just pictured, and I still picture, like a big beautiful garden and lots of plants and fruit trees and like flowers, and I just want it to be lush and beautiful, and I have this dream of like eating something from my garden every day, and I think I'll get there. We've only lived here like 2.5 years, but there's definitely been a huge learning curve from when we moved, and I just didn't expect that. I didn't expect that the garden thing would be like my biggest struggle or the hardest thing to like get going or get off the ground. So super discouraging, but I'm gonna keep trying. But if you have any ideas that I should throw in the mix of like mice prevention in the garden bed, please let me know. This could be something that I totally don't deal with next year. Like the coyote population could do its thing, or I guess I could get a cat now that the coyote population I feel like is down. But either way, like this could totally not be a thing in future seasons, but it really is this year. It was the thing at the end of my summer garden, and it's totally a thing now. So hopefully I will get that taken care of. In other news, when I tell you what's working, plant-wise for me, then I promise you can do it too, because clearly I'm not an expert gardener. So my video on the top 6 easiest plants to grow, like in the spring and summer, totally they are the top 6 easiest plants to grow. So watch that. I'll put a link in the description for that. But yeah, like if I say, hey, I'm able to grow this, then clearly it works, because I'm no expert gardener. Anyway, thank you for checking it out. Thanks for following along. I've said on here that I'm going to share our successes and our failures and what we're learning. And I'm failing right now in the garden department. Totally am, which is not fun. So, I'm going to be true to my word and share it. But yeah, I'll keep y'all updated. Thanks, guys.